Hello, I'm Courtney Alex, and in this practice, I'm going to be showing you a Qigong warm-up. It's great for the morning time, before a practice, or really any time of day where you feel like you just want to get back in your body. For instance, after you're looking at a screen for a very long time, or even after a conversation or something that's kind of, riled you up. So to get started, we're going to tap up and down at the low back. And so you can tap up and down using light fists, using open palms, or even fingertips. If this is really uncomfortable, you can just kind of rub up and down and warm the low back. Yeah, so you choose. And you can also do this sitting down, by the way. And then we're going to come all the way down the outer backs of the legs. So we're going to kind of tap down the outer backs of the legs, and you only have to go as far as you want to go, as far as feels comfortable for your body. And then we're going to come around the fronts of the ankles, and I'm just going to turn around so I can demonstrate. And then come up the midline of the legs, tapping, feeling the vibration deep in your bones. And then tapping over the hip creases here, maybe making some circles over the hip creases. Starting to get that energy moving, right? When we're sitting all the time, the hip creases can get kind of tight, which can cut off the circulation in the legs a little bit. So tapping around here to encourage that circulation, not just of blood, but also of qi. And as you do this, make sure that the knees are a little bit soft. Notice if that makes a difference in the way that the legs feel here. And then we're going to come around to the sides of the hips, tapping around the sides of the hips, either with fists or open palms. Or again, you can just kind of warm this area. Do whatever's feeling good for your body. And then we'll do 3 circuits. This is the second one, tapping up and down at the low back. Or warming, right? So tapping up and down so that it feels good, right? We don't want to be torturing ourselves or injuring ourselves. More so we want to feel as if we're getting a nice light massage here. And then we're going to come down the outer backs of the legs again. Tapping down, maybe taking a pause at the knee joints. And then coming down the outer backs of the lower legs, all the way down to the ankles, if you can. If you can't get this far, don't worry about it. And then coming around the fronts of the ankles, and then to the midline of the ankles, and then up the midline of the legs. And something you can try if you don't have the flexibility, you could actually try sitting down and bending the knees so that you can touch the ankles a little bit, or even visualize, right, tapping around the ankles. And so now making circles around the hip creases here, making sure that the knees are soft as you do this. And then coming around again to the sides of the hips, tapping up and down. You can close the eyes, right? Just to notice if this feels good. It should feel good. And then coming around to the low back again. And I'll turn around so you can see me. Tapping up and down here, moving the qi there. Yeah, one of my teachers likes to say that this can be a great replacement for a cup of coffee. Yeah, so it's energizing to do this. Try it in the morning and see how you feel. And then again, let's come down the outer backs of the legs. Tapping down so you can feel that vibration deep in your bones. Or maybe somewhere else. Really tuning into the sensations you feel. And then coming around the fronts of the ankles, the midline of the ankles to the insides of the legs. And then we're going to tap up the insides of the legs. You can use open palms or fists. And this time let's make circles around the knees before we come up all the way up to the hip creases, making circles around the hip creases. Again, keeping the knees soft as we make circles around the hip creases. Coming around to the sides of the hips. And then eventually allowing the hands to be loose to either side of you. And if you can just go ahead and stand and feel, find a comfortable position. You can have the eyes closed or open. And just breathing here and taking a moment to start to feel that increased circulation in your legs. The qi and blood moving a little bit more through the legs. Maybe you can feel a sense of tingling through the legs, maybe feel the bones of the legs, or maybe you're even feeling more textures on the soles of your feet as they connect with whatever you're standing on. Nice. And then let's do the upper body. So if your eyes are closed, you can open the eyes. And we're going to tap up and down at the center of the chest here. And you can use fingertips. I'm using fingertips because I have a microphone on and I don't want it to interrupt the sound. You can use fists, you can use open palms, whatever's feeling good for you and your body. So right at the center of the breastbone here, we have something like an emotional release valve. Yeah, that helps us release emotions that maybe we've been feeling today, or maybe they've been stuck in the body for 20 years. Right? And so we just want to tap up and down, kind of getting this place in the center of the breastbone so that we're moving any emotional stuff that might be keeping the body tight. Tapping up and down here. Let's breathe into it. So let's inhale. Expand the center of the chest out to meet the fingertips, and then exhale, relax out of the mouth. And let's do it again. Inhale. Expand the center of the chest out to meet the fingertips, and then exhale, relax out of the mouth. And then let's straighten the right arm out and tap from the center of the chest, tapping a line below the collarbone at the soft, fleshy part of the chest, and we'll tap at the upper corner here. Again, you can use a fist or open palm. Yeah. And let's inhale. Expand the chest out to meet the hand, and then relax out of the mouth. Nice cleansing breath. Again, let's inhale. Expand the chest to meet the hand. Exhale, release, relax out of the mouth. And then let's come all the way down the midline of the arm, tapping so that you can feel the vibration deep in your bones, but also so the tapping actually feels nice, right? It feels like we're nurturing our bodies, giving ourselves some love. You can come down to the wrist or all the way down to the center of the palm. And then up and over back of the hand and back of the arm, making our way back up and up over the shoulder. And then coming around to the front of the chest, let's inhale. Inhaling chest against fist, and then relax out of the mouth. And then let's come down the midline of the arm for our second circuit, and we'll do a total of 3. So coming down the midline of the arm to the wrist or all the way to the center of the palm. I like center of palm. Yeah. And then coming up and over the back of the hand and up and over the back of the arm. Coming up and over the back of the shoulder. Feeling the sensations of tapping in your body as if receiving a massage. And then finally coming to the upper chest for the third circuit, coming down all the way down the midline of the arm to the wrist or to the palm. And then coming up and over the back of the hand, up and over the back of the arm. Let's take a pause here right at the elbow joint. Energy tends to stagnate at our joints. Yeah. And then let's come up, continuing all the way up and over the shoulder to the front of the chest again, and then we'll come to the center line of the chest. And so again, tapping over that sea of tranquility point right in the center of the chest, that emotional release valve, tapping up and down, making sure that you're breathing. And let's take another deep breath here. So we'll inhale. Expand the chest out to meet the fingertips, and then relax out of the mouth. Let's do it again. Inhale. Expand the chest out to meet the fingertips. And then exhale, relax. And then let's straighten out the left arm, tracing a line from the center of the chest, below the collarbone at the soft, fleshy part of the chest, tapping over to the upper corner of the left part of the chest, right? Just right by the shoulder girdle, where it's soft and fleshy, yeah. And then we'll inhale. Take 2 deep inhales. We'll start with the first one. And then relax out of the mouth. And again, you can tap with a fist or with a light palm. And then again, inhale. Expand the chest out to meet the hand. Nice deep breath, getting a massage from the inside, a stretch from the inside. And then relax out of the mouth. And then we'll come down the midline of the arm, tapping here. See if you can feel the vibration deep in your bones. Yeah, coming all the way down. And it can be nice to close the eyes, especially if you're staring at a screen, right? It helps to bring the energy back in so you can actually feel what's going on in your body. And then come up and over the back of the hand and back of the arm, tapping up the back of the arm, all the way up to the back of the shoulder, to this point that brings mental clarity. And then coming around to the front of the chest. Let's inhale again. Expanding the chest out to meet the fist or the hand, and then relax out of the mouth. And then let's come down the midline of the arm for our second circuit on this side. Maybe noticing if this side feels a little different than the other. Coming all the way down to the wrist or to the center of the palm. And then up and over the back of the hand, up and over the back of the arm. Yeah. So again, just kind of feeling how that feels. Coming up and over the back of the shoulder, and then back around to the front of the chest. And then we'll just get right into our third circuit, coming down the midline of the arm, tapping all the way down again with an open palm, fist, even fingertips. Doing something that feels really good for our bodies today. And then coming up and over the back of the hand, up and over the back of the arm. Let's take a moment, take a pause right at the elbow joint. Again, because energy can stagnate sometimes at the joints and we want to move it around. And then we'll come up, back of the arm, and up and over the back of the shoulder here. And then finally coming back to the center of the chest, tapping up and down here. And feeling how different that might feel. Right? And then let's let the arms go down by your sides, just standing normally, making sure that you're breathing but not taking any special breath, really taking a moment to just stand here and feel what it feels like. Right? To sense these new flows in the body, right? Can you sense your blood flowing a little more? Can you sense your chi flowing even? Can you feel tingles in the body? Can you feel what direction your blood or your energy may be moving in? Right? For instance, you might feel something moving in the downward direction, down your arms and then back up your arms or something like that. Just go ahead and describe to yourself whatever you might be feeling and notice that the movement might be happening right now in the upper body, but that the lower body is still very much awake. Yeah. And that we can sense into that too. And now we'll open the eyes and let's raise up the right arm. And we'll tap down from under the arm to the hip, tapping in the downward direction 3 times. And again, making sure that this actually feels good for your body. Tapping all the way down. And then we'll do the other arm. So raising up the left arm, and then same thing, tapping down from the underarm down toward the hip. And we'll do this 3 times. So tapping in the downward direction. And I'm going really lightly again, just so I'm not making noise on my microphone. But you can tap at whatever sort of speed feels good for you. right? Whatever intensity feels good for you. And same thing, let's just close the eyes for a moment now that we've done that movement on both sides. And see if you feel the sides of your body a little stronger than before. Right? If you close your eyes, you might start to feel, oh yeah, like I'm actually really contained, right, by this body in a good way. I feel my life force energy moving through this body. That's so cool. And we'll do the final movement. You can open the eyes, and we're going to tap over on the right side of the belly. So with this one, I'm not going to be mirroring you. Yeah, so tapping at the right side of the belly, and then coming up the right side and over above the navel from the right side to the left, tapping here, making sure that this feels comfortable for you. And then coming down the left side, over from the left to the right side. We'll do 3 circuits here. That's 1. Again, coming up, tapping up the right side, and then over from the right to the left. And then tapping down the left side, over from the left side to the right side. And then final circuit, tapping up. You can even take a pause over any areas that feel like they need some extra love today. So if you feel something maybe that feels numb or really dense or even a little bit uncomfortable, you can tap just lightly, right there. And then coming down on the left side, over to the right, and we're going to pause and tap just a little bit below the navel, about 3 fingers below the navel. Yeah, tapping with the left and right fists or open palms or even fingertips, whatever's feeling good for you. And then let's take another moment just to drop the arms down and see if you can feel now your center, right? The center of gravity, the center of your body. Taking a moment just to allow the body to breathe on its own. Again, feeling our chi, feeling our life force, our blood moving through the body. Everywhere where we just moved, tapped. And then we'll take palm over palm and stack them just below the navel here. Maybe closing the eyes, or if you feel dizzy, you can keep the eyes open. I like to close the eyes just because there's so much beauty around me, right? It helps to sort of focus my gaze, my attention in. And see if you can feel the rise and fall of the belly below your hands, tuning into the center of the body while still being aware of so much circulation, so much flow happening in the entire body. Maybe even feeling the heat below the hands in the center, right? And feeling the midpoint between the front and back of the body below the navel, or creative center, the lower dantian. And today we'll finish practice with a little bit of gratitude for this life force energy that flows through us, for our lives, for being alive, for health. And thank you so much. That concludes this practice. That was a Qigong warm-up for you. Again, I'm Courtney Alex, and you can find more of my videos at courtneyalex.com. Thank you.